This podcast is proud to be part of the talkSPORT Fan Network. talkSPORT. Powered by fans.
Cross Woodcock. And a superb goal from Barrett. Oh, the keeper saves it, and there's McGregor. And there's a goal. Oh, McGregor.
Robertson, the first time we've seen them attack them, and there's Francis! Well, that's what I wanted to see Robertson do. Robertson getting his shot in, and a goal! Robertson!
Hello and welcome to this episode of Red Side of the Trent as we look ahead to our 6th Europa League game. They've all gone really quickly, haven't they? As we head to FC Utrecht of the Netherlands tomorrow. I'm ready in my airport hotel for my flight out tomorrow morning. I'm joined on this one by Elliott Bauer and Christian Brown. Elliott, first of all, how are you, mate?
Absolutely knackered due to the fact that I've been putting up Christmas decorations for the past few hours, so do excuse all the messiness. But
yeah, you've got
apart from
like
that,
a bit
all
of a
good.
sweat in your brow, I think I'd say.
Yeah, that was me putting up a reindeer on the top of our door porch, and it fell down like twice as well. So, but it looks really lovely. If you're around the Sherwood Estate area, just have a look.
I'm sure people will do. Christian, how are you, mate?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well. Excited
Right.
to see the third kit get an airing tomorrow.
Yeah, which you're displaying very nicely. It's the only one I've not got at the minute, so hopefully it'll be in a
I haven't got the home
present
first,
somewhere.
so yeah.
Have you not? Okay. Yeah, well, nicely in time for Christmas. We're wearing it for his first time tomorrow in the Netherlands. I'll just do a little tiny bit of a recap on Everton. We was expecting to have Leon, who was going to give us his refereeing take on the Indoor incident, but for what it's worth, I've spoken to Lee about that, and he's basically gone along the lines of it's worse every time he sees it, and it's very cowardly from behind. And he also said that there'd be no complaints if Tarkowski had got a red card for that, which I do agree with. I wouldn't have given it as a red, but definitely wouldn't have had any complaints. Elliott, you wasn't on the pod at the weekend, so I'll just quickly touch on this with you with the Everton game. What was your thoughts on the weekend, mate?
It was absolutely terrible for me. I don't like the fact that we're being absolutely tired and just ready to give Everton a very easy 3 points. Really, it just looks so lackluster throughout, and yeah, we shouldn't really be losing to Everton 3-0 in the way we did. But yeah, of course, you got to bear in mind all the tiredness, etc. But we're missing quite a few players. But in that team, there is enough there to make sure we get the job done. But I think we took this game a little bit too lightly and went all in on the other, the red side of Liverpool. But apart from that, yeah, it was just a very bad day at the office.
Yeah, just one of them days, wasn't it, unfortunately. But we will move on from Everton because we've got, as I said, a 6th Europa League game in the campaign tomorrow night as we head to FC Utrecht. So just some stats on the side from the Netherlands, which I did for the Malmo game. So Utrecht are currently 7th in the Eredivisie. Last season they finished 4th, which I'd imagine will be behind Feyenoord, PSV and Ajax of some order. So their Europa League record so far, so they have actually been through quite a few qualifiers. So they actually beat Sheriff Tiraspol of Moldova 7-2 on aggregate. They then beat Servette of Switzerland 5-2 before the main Zrinski Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 on aggregate. So they've won all them qualifiers to get to the main stage and done well in that sense. But the main stage is where it's gone to pot for them. Yeah, no pun intended if you're going to Amsterdam. So their first game of the campaign, they lost 1-0 at home to Lyon. They then went away to Norwegian side Brann and lost 1-0. They've then gone away to German side Freiburg and lost 1-0. Drew at home to Porto, which is a pretty decent, respectable result, before going away, as we did, to Real Betis last time out, and they lost 2-1 there. So they're not getting beaten badly. It just seems by the odd goal in all of them. Last time against an English side was in 2010, where they had 2 0-0 draws with Liverpool in Europa League. And some familiar faces, really. So not as many as Betis, really, I'd probably say were the main ones. But they've got, for those from the Championship days, Mike van der Horn, who was an ex-Swansea centre-back. I'm sure you'd have played against us a couple of times. The most famous one is Sebastian Haller, who used to play for West Ham and did superbly to beat Cancer, I believe it was, wasn't it, before he went on to play for Borussia Dortmund for a bit. They've got a couple of young English lads in their lineup as well. One's 26 now, Derry Merkin, his name is, who I looked at his profile. He moved to the Netherlands when he was 4, but was born in England. And another lad called Adrian Blake, who's basically playing for Watford at youth level. And then a few others, Barkas, the ex-Celtic goalkeeper, for those who concentrate on the old firm. Zidane Iqbal, who some of you might know, ex-Manchester United Academy prospect. He was always someone who I looked at signing on Football Manager for Ilkeston. And then another lad called Ahio, who's played for Hull a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, I think that's it in terms of familiar faces. Not much else, I'd say, really. Christian, I mean, what are you expecting from the Dutch side tomorrow night?
To be honest, I think their actual run of form isn't as bad as I thought it would be. They've actually played some pretty tough teams in that run. I thought, yeah, I mean, apart from Brann, obviously that's a terrible result. But, you know, Freiburg, Porto, Leon,
Rail better.
That's pretty rough. Whoever picked that draw certainly had it in for Utrecht, didn't they? Jesus. Yeah, maybe I might have to rethink my team.
The 32 out of 36 with 1 point at the minute in Europa League.
Yeah, but if they probably
scored 2 goals and conceded 7 is the record so far.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying they're in a false position or anything like that, because I mean, ultimately, they are 7th in the Eredivisie, and that's not particularly well, as we know. It's a very transitional league compared to the Premier League. But no, I mean, they've obviously played some tough teams. Obviously, they're only losing narrowly as well. Yeah, I expect a lot. It'll be tough to break them down. I imagine. Have to be somewhat wary of Eredivisie team as well. I'm not going to use W word. Don't worry, Elliott. But I mean, obviously, go ahead. Eagles obviously beat Villa over in Holland and Netherlands, as well. So, which is a bit of a shock result. I'm sure Utrecht will be thinking, right, it's time to get going. But no, I mean, by all accounts, we should be going there and winning. There's no doubt about that. Really, we have a strong squad. We've got an opportunity to use it tomorrow. And certainly get some minutes back into players who come back from injury, like Zinchenko and Bakwa, for example, even Douglas Luiz, or maybe even Murillo. So we're looking a bit healthier than we were this time last week, which is nice. But yeah, I fully expect Forest to go there and do the job. I don't get how it's done, just do it, because I think we're obviously in a strong place for the playoffs. But if we are to finish in the top 8, which would make life a lot easier in terms of congestion as well, we kind of need to be winning tomorrow, really. Yeah,
it was something I noted on the pod social media feed, was that we now need 7 points out of 9 on last year's points total to get that top 8. We only need 1 win if we're going on last season's total to get that place. But like you said, Christian, as much as we love an away trip, I think with the situation we would like to avoid a playoff, wouldn't we? An extra 2 games. Elliott, do you agree with Christian's sentiments? Do you think it's a game that Forest should be going there tomorrow and looking at winning, really?
Absolutely, yeah. And we've seen, like, over this Europa League lock, if we don't take these games seriously, I'm talking about the likes of Midtjylland and Sturm Graz, they could potentially punish us, Utrecht, but it's one of those things where the new boys are really sort of clicking now. They're sort of used to each other's play, etc. So it's one of those where so some of these French players as well are looking to take the shirt of somebody that maybe Sean Dyche's ideal starting 11 as well. So I think they'll be motivated for this as well. So, yeah, I agree with Christian and yourself that, it's a game we should be winning. But at the same time, it's one of those that we need to take very seriously because, I'm like you. I'd rather not have a playoff game. I'd just rather just be in the top 8.
Yeah, so something what Christian touched on is that Murillo and Douglas Luiz have both travelled, so they was on the plane, and also backwards Zinchenko are in the kind of training videos, weren't they? So hopefully they've travelled as well. So if them four are back, I mean Murillo, I don't think we mind him waiting to the weekend, don't we? But it would be nice if we could see maybe even a little bit of Luiz, obviously Zinchenko to take some time away from Nico and give him a rest, and obviously Bakwa as well gives us that other wing option. So yeah, it'd be interesting what kind of team Sean Dyche will play tomorrow night. And coming on to teams nicely, I'm going to get the guys' prediction up, what they'd like to see tomorrow night. So just bear with me. So I'll start with you, Christian. So Christian's is up on screen now. So for the audio listeners, I'll read it out. So we've got Big John in goal, Zach Abbott right back, Zinchenko left back with Bolly as a captain. And Morato as a centre half, Sangare and Dominguez as your centre mid pairing, Bakwa, McAtee, and Ndoye behind Callum Owendo. Just talk us through your team, Christian.
Yeah, I mean, there's heavy impetus, I think, on Sunday now with the Spurs game, just because I'm still reluctant to say we're in a relegation battle, because for me, the relegation battle doesn't really start until March, April time. That's when you know, okay, yeah, we're deep in it now. I mean, I still remember the first year we went up when we had West Ham. We had a chance to go 8 points clear of them, and we lost 4-0 in February. And very quickly, they were in the relegation zone, obviously in amongst it, and they moved up to 13th and pretty much stayed there for the rest of the season. So I'm reluctant to say we're in a relegation battle yet. However, I think at the weekend when Leeds were... when West Ham was temporarily winning, we were bottom three again. It was like, yeah, this isn't fun. I don't really like us being in that bottom three in any capacity. So if we can make some changes, I would hope that we do. Obviously, we've only got Sangare for this week, so I think make the most of him while we can. I'd like whoever out of those two is going to start on Sunday next to Anderson. If we can get Luiz in for half an hour, that'd be brilliant. Off the bench, I think that'd be a real boost for us to sort of show going forward. These players actually are coming back. They aren't just falling like flies and not reappearing ever again. So yeah, I've tried to sort of think that in mind. I mean, Dan Doy, for example, hopefully can be a confidence booster for him, but it sounds harsh. His performance is largely irrelevant in the sense that if he scored a hat-trick against Utrecht, I still wouldn't want him starting on Sunday, going by how he's been in the Premier League. So it's a chance, obviously, backward. McAtee looked very sharp against Brighton, hasn't been seen since, so hopefully we could see him pick up that same vein before. Likewise, Owendo scored against Malmo, hasn't been seen since, really, bar a few minutes. Be nice to see him backward, good to see back on the field. Obviously, played an hour last week, absolutely can play an hour again. Yeah, I mean, Zinchenko, if he's well, he's back on grass and training. It's be a good game, sort of getting back up to speed for. And yeah, obviously, we still don't know what Big John's about, really. So actually, I don't want him making saves, ideally, because it'd be nice if you did absolutely nothing. But we still don't know if he's any good or not. So this is as good as game as any to sort of throw him into and sort of see what's what. But
we would like to see if he can make some saves, I guess.
Yeah, it's still a bit of an element of unknown, really. But yeah. I mean, to be honest, having seen you reading out how they fared, I probably won't play Bolly in hindsight. I probably would go for Milenkovic, but again, it's just concerning, isn't it? I mean, you look at Gibbs White, for example. Gibbs White's clearly done his back. He needs a rest.
Yeah, I won't play.
Milenkovic probably isn't far off that. I don't think in terms of I don't think he's carrying anything, but he's not moving as fluid as we know he can do. So yeah, I think it's just more about protecting the players in mind. If worse comes to worse and we slip up in impact, I think there's still some solace knowing that we are in a very good place to get at least around the 32 playoff. Whereas, if we lose to Spurs on Sunday, for example, but win tomorrow, we could be in the bottom three by the time we play next Premier League game. So yeah, it's just more. It's more with that in mind rather than anything else. And of course, getting Dominguez back up to speed in his natural position, which would be quite nice.
Yeah, I think you just don't want the gaps to get too big, don't you? I think that's the main thing in the Premier League, because there was a gap appear. I think at one point was 5 points behind Fulham, where you were the next team up. So you don't want to start getting where you're 2 wins behind the next team up when you're 16th, for example. So you're kind of marooning that bottom block. it's disappointing into it with Bolly because he's a squad member. So rarely you kind of you need him to play because he's just wasting a spot into if he's not
Yeah.
playing. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I think we'd all, and probably most of the fan base would rather Jai Kuna be in the squad and then he'd play tomorrow night. Whereas we're
it would
thinking
be a
Willie
perfect game for him
Bolly.
as well.
Yeah, we're thinking Willie Bolly. He played at Swansea, didn't he, Bolly?
Yes,
and obviously we're thinking back to Exeter last year when he just looked rusty as, and you're thinking, oh, we don't really need that tomorrow night. Just another quick question, Christian, on Utrecht. Do you think this is the easiest on paper, let me say that, of the 3 games we've got left, bearing in mind Ferencváros are 6th in the Europa League and Braga are 7th? I know it's
again, it's dodgy. It's still weird, isn't it? I would still personally think this is probably middle of the 3. I say. I know Ferencváros are 7th. I fully expect Forest to beat them, absolutely beat them at home.
Agree.
And if push comes to shove for that game, we have to put the full firing squad out for that. Of course, we'll beat them. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels it's difficult with Europa League because it is a lot of it is luck of the draw. I mean, Utrecht must have looked at that draw and thought Forest, Porto, Betis, Freiburg, and Lyon, and thought we've been done dirty here. Whereas, for example, I haven't seen who Ferencváros have played, but if they're playing, for example, Go Ahead Eagles, Bran, Rangers. I mean, everyone's beating Rangers at the minute. So
we've got Rangers tomorrow night, ironically.
Well, yeah, exactly. So their fixture difficulty is a lot easier. It's difficult to properly gauge, but I still think this is middle of the road. Obviously, it's triple A as well. I can't help but feel that we probably really should have needed to win that game in Graz, to be honest, to make it a little bit smoother. But yeah, I'm not expecting it to be a walkover, but I am expecting Forest to win, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they've beaten Genk and Salzburg away, plus Ludogorets at home. Drew away to Fenerbahce as well, so it's not too bad result. The funny thing is about Ferencváros is they're on 11 points and they're obviously in that top 8. So their next 2 games are Rangers at home, who you'd probably fancy and beating, and then Panathinaikos at home, who you'd probably fancy and beating. So by the time they play us, they could actually be home and host in the top 8. To be fair to Robbie Keane's man.
Well, yeah,
and then obviously Braga. So they have got Nice away tomorrow night, or I believe they're actually bottom.
Yeah, Nice to be crap. Yeah,
they are not the only team on 0 points. So you could see them possibly winning that, and then obviously they play us, and they've got Go Ahead Eagles away after that. So yeah, all to play for, isn't it? But I think if we was to win tomorrow night, that would, like I said, with the projections from last season, that would probably guarantee us a playoff place at least. So yeah, right, we'll get rid of your team, Christians, and bring Elliott's up. So for the audio listeners, Big John in goal again, Abbott at right back, Milenkovic as your skipper, Morato, Murillo at left back, Sangare and Dominguez the centre mid, and then the 3 behind Callum Owendo, Ndoye, McAtee and Hudson-Odoi. So talk us through your team, Elliott.
Right, so with this one, I think I'd rather have Milenkovic start for this game because he is captain material and he can control the centre backs with Zach Abbott and Morato. A weird fact about the mid. Oh, by the way, today's facts will be at the end for anyone still interested in that. But a weird fact about Sangare and Dominguez is they've never actually started as a 2, and it's the 2 I've always been intrigued about of how those 2 will actually play. Yeah, I think probably Ndoye might start this game because I'm not sure if Back was fit and firing just yet. And Callum, obviously, getting back into the game. You're right about Morgan Gibbs-White. I think he does actually need a rest here. So McAtee will play in the 10. It is debatable whether he will be subbed off if he gets cramp. And Callum Wendo's done absolutely nothing wrong for me. I think, yeah, maybe just give Igor Jesus a rest and play him on Sunday. So, and yeah, I'm looking to see what John Victor's like as well. So that's my team.
Cool. I think, personally, I think some players have got to play. I think Callum Wendo's definitely got to play. I think McAtee's definitely got to play. We'd probably, I think, all agree and play Ndoye because we wouldn't play him on Sunday because then you'd have Hutchinson back. If Bakker is fit, I think you'd probably maybe switch between him and Hudson-Odoi as like a half each. Centre mid-wise, yeah, you'd probably start with them two, what you two guys have got. And then if Douglas Luiz is fit, you'd probably bring Sangare off, wouldn't you, last 20 minutes, say, to give him a bit of a rest. Back five's interesting because, in my opinion, the keeper don't really matter. I would probably play Sells personally, but I think John will play. It's kind of been lost that Zach Abbott is actually a centre-back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Everyone's like playing him at right back now. So could he maybe slot in at centre-back and Savona keep his spot alongside Morato? Like we've said, we've got Willy Bolly, who's kind of taking a hole in the squad, isn't he, really, with his spot? And, left back, if Zinchenko's fit, I think you've got to play him and give Nico a rest because, that would be best. So it'd be interesting to see the team. I think the most interesting thing as well is if there is obviously going to be no Yatesy because he looks like he's done his hamstring. If Gibbs White doesn't play, it'd be interesting to see who the captain is tomorrow night. Because if Milenkovic doesn't play as well, like as in your team, Christian, then we might be passing that armband round. Nico Dominguez captain Bologna, isn't he? So he could be somebody maybe. He's probably the longest serving player, isn't he, in that team? I'm just looking. Or Hudson
Sangare, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Murillo has held the armband before, but I can't for the life of me remember what game it was, but he had it as well. So
I think it was the one at Tottenham away when they all was passing it around, which didn't go down well.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah. So we'll pop that one off. Back to the free screen. Right, and then a quick shout out to our sponsors, which are all for the video watchers or whatever you want to call it on YouTube, are all visible at the bottom of the page. So first of all, we've got Trentside Threads, who do custom made Nottingham Forest t-shirts. Adam models one with Ola Aina with drinking his Ribena. I think there's a Murillo one. They've also got a Igor Jesus one doing his celebration, whatever it's called. It's a bit too technical for me. I'm not down enough for the kids. So there's a 10% code off there, which is RSOT, which is RSOTT. So if you want to get a stocking filler for Christmas, check out the guys at Trentside Threads. We've also got Vesta Blinds. James has very kindly sent me a little synopsis to read out. So stylish, high quality, made to measure blinds and shutters at a great price. Give your home the perfect finishing touch with stunning, expertly fitted window coverings from Blessed Vines. So there you go, James. And we've also got RL delivery service, which is myself. It does what the advert says. Local and GB deliveries. If you've got, you brought a chest of drawers in Manchester and you want to bring it back to the lovely city of Nottingham, then give us a bell. I'm fully insured. And there's my telephone number on there. So that's your little sponsors reader. I can read one out for myself this time. It's now part of the pod, I think. Go on, Elliott.
I'd also just like to say, if you want a good stocking filler, can I recommend Christian's book? Just can't get enough about the Steve Cooper years because you just remember so much stuff that you've forgotten about. So Christian's book as well, another slight sponsor, I'd recommend that book.
Which is basically a guide by game guide, isn't it? The Cooper reign back to front. So it was very enjoyable read, and obviously reminiscing on that promotion season especially. Elliott, I'm afraid the time is... Say again?
I'll give you £20 each in the post.
Okay, that's lovely. I'll invoice you. Elliott, I'm afraid it's a time in the pod what you're going to dread, which is the quiz. But,
right. Okay. I thought you wanted me to do the fact early.
No, don't worry. We can do that at the end, mate. But it's the quiz. So it's Who Dares Wins star for those who hasn't watched the pod. So Who Dares Wins was a game show, 10 or so years ago, with Nick Knowles on the BBC. Basically, they used to read out a subject and they basically auction of how many they could name off a list of that subject. So if I was to say countries that made this year, next year's World Cup, 48 into now, you could say I can name 11. Christian might say I can name 12, and you say, well, I can't name that many. So Christian's going to name them. So it's a best of 3. So the first question is question 1, obviously. So we've got 9 options for this, so not too many. And I'll get him out of the way, but you can't have Lars Veldwijk for it. So this is any player to play for Forest from the Netherlands. So Elliott, I'll let you start the bidding.
I can start with one.
One, Christian.
And we can't use Big Lars.
Can't, because he was from the Netherlands, but he actually played for South Africa, so he don't count.
Yeah. I reckon I could do 4.
4, Elliott.
I'm going to say I can do 2. Can I do 2 or just 1?
No, you've got to bid higher than Christian, mate. So if Christian's gone 4, so if you can't name 5, you've got to say to Christian, name him, and hope he gets one wrong.
All right. So I'm going to go Brian Roy.
No. Do you want to go higher than Christian?
No, I can't go higher than
5?
Christian.
No, so Christian, you've got to name them then. So you've got 4.
Brian Roy was one of my 4, I promise.
Yeah, well, there's one. That's fine.
Van Hooijdonk.
Correct, 2.
And Breukelen, I think his name was the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Hans van Breukelen, yeah. 3.
And I remember that. Well, it's Johnny Method's another one, isn't it? But he wasn't the one I had in mind. It was Carl Ebersilio who had in mind.
Correct. He was probably the worst one on there. So you've won the point anyway. So you 1-0 up. But can you name any more? 4 more?
Not off the top of my head. No, I think. No, I can't. No. So 5 would be.
You've got the equaliser for the 2-2 at home to Leicester, George Boateng.
Oh God, of course, Jesus.
Yeah. Someone who we've had on the pod, my favourite Forest goalkeeper.
Oh, the Reiss, of course, goalkeeper. Yeah.
Another goalkeeper, Hans Sagers, back in the 80s. And to be fair, this is the only one I've not heard of. So I'm going to probably butcher his name. So Franz Fischen, something like that. Played in the 80s for us. I think he played for Ipswich as well, if I read correctly. So you're 1-0 up, Christian. So do you get the gist now, Elliott? What?
Yeah.
The kind of rules, right? So on to question 2. So obviously we're making our appearance in the Netherlands tomorrow night. The last time we played aside from the Netherlands was back in 2023 in pre-season, as we went to PSV Eindhoven. I was there.
Oh yeah.
So you've got a squad of 22 to go at. So Christian, how many do you think you could name who played that day and was on the substitutes bench?
Oh God. Probably at least 10, I reckon.
10. Do you think you can go any higher than 10, Elliott?
7.
You've got to go 11 or higher.
Have I?
Yeah. Do you think no?
11 then.
Christian, no. You're going to go 11, Christian?
All right, name them.
Okay. So it's 2003 then, Elliott. If you get one wrong, then I'm afraid the point goes to Christian. So this is second season Premier League pre-season under Steve Cooper.
All right. Hwang Ujou.
Yeah, it's very good. There's 1.
Ethan Horvath.
2, correct. Well done.
Joe Worrell, did he play?
Correct. 3.
Scott McKenna.
Correct. 4.
Serge Aurier.
Correct. 5.
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood, correct. 6. So how many did you say you got to name? 11?
11,
so
yeah.
5 more.
Yes, that's 6. So 5 more, yeah. Doing well.
Okay. Felipe.
He's not on there, mate, I'm afraid. He's
Okay,
not, I think he would have been injured. So that will be...
Is that me out?
That's you out. So it'll be 2-0 to Christian. But we'll carry on. Who would you have gone for next? Let's just get rattled through him.
Niakate.
No, he's not on there, injured. Christian,
All
do you
right.
want to have a go before we come back at Elliott?
I'm guessing George Shelby would have been on the bench.
George Shelby was on the bench, yeah. Elliott, come back to you.
Okay, so Josh Bowler.
No, he's not on there.
Right.
Christian.
I'm guessing Danilo would have been there.
Danilo was there, yeah.
By that point, Woods, I don't know if he'd have played. Aina, maybe.
That was Aina's debut, so yeah.
Yeah. So if that was his debut, Elanga probably wouldn't have played then.
Elanga was on the bench.
He was on the bench, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you've got there's another 12. I can rattle through
Mangala?
Mangala was on there, yeah.
Williams?
Nico's on the bench, yeah.
Just trying to
squad now.
Can I say Willy Bolly?
Willy Bolly, you didn't say him, but he's on there.
And
I'm guessing Freuler would he have been there?
Freuler was on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, really? Okay. Lewis O'Brien? Brian?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Do you want me to rattle through the rest of them?
Oh, Gibbs White. Gibbs White would be
Gibbs
there.
White, yeah.
Yeah.
So your other starter was Yatesy, and then your subs. So you've got Kiyate, Josh Powell, Aaron Bott, Jonathan Panzo, Brandon Aguilera, and Asaparo Song. So
Okay.
so yeah, so that's your squad. And then question 3. So I could have been really evil on this one. Looking ahead to Tottenham on Sunday afternoon. So this is the 18-man squad for our last ever game at White Hart Lane in the 14-15 season, which was a League Cup 3-1 defeat on Stuart Pearce.
Right.
I was also there.
So I still got a
Christian,
green jumper.
you want to start the bidding on this one, Christian? You've got 18 to go at.
I'll go for 8.
8. Elliott, do you think any more than 8, or Christian?
No, I can't go any more than that.
Okay, Christian, let's go with your 8 then, mate.
So Big Lars because he had a hand in the goal.
He did, yeah. 1.
George Grant because he scored the goal.
He did 2.
Remember Mancien playing? I think.
No, he didn't.
No, he wasn't. Oh.
So you've got your point back, Elliott, but we can carry on. So you won 2-1,
right.
Christian. Anyway, so you got yourself on the board, Elliott.
All right. Can I go with Ben Osborne?
Ben Osborne, yeah, correct.
Chris Cohen?
Cohen, no.
Okay.
Would have been injured, I bet,
Did
unfortunately.
Lehigh play?
He didn't, no.
I swear we rotated the pack quite a bit.
We did.
So I remember when we got to we scored off the hour mark, didn't we? And everyone was like, "This is ridiculous." And then they brought
I remember
on
him getting some stick for the team because he basically went second string.
And then they got.
It is quite second string, to be fair.
Then Mason scored a screamer.
Yeah,
then,
Harry Kane and Soldado.
Yeah, that Soldado goal was a joke. I mean, Andros Townsend basically cut in, shot. It was going about 50 meters wide.
Yeah, just
hit someone and went in.
So I'll run through them anyway. So we had Doris de Vries in goal, Jamal Lascelles, Kelvin Wilson, Danny Fox, Dan Harding, David Vaughan, Stephen McLaughlin, Jamie Patterson, and then the subs: Carl Darlow, Danny Collins, Greg Halford, Robert Tesher, Ollie Burke, Dexter Blackstock, Tyler Walker. So that was the squad. The actual one I was going to do, and before we quickly move on, was, can you remember back in, God, it would have been about 05? And we actually drew Tottenham in the FA Cup. We drew 1-1 away. Gareth Taylor scored, and then we lost the replay 3-0. Can you think of any players who started that day? I've given you one, Gareth Taylor.
Gregor Robertson?
He's not, but that is a good shout. Do you remember who started in goal?
It was Doyle, weren't it?
Colin Doyle, correct, yeah.
Because Doyle, if I remember rightly, I think we were actually fairly on course to get a 1-0
he made a mistake.
He made an absolute howler, and then we drew, and then he battered us.
So the team that day was Colin Doyle, John Curtis, Andy Melville, Wes Morgan, Chris Doig, James Perch, Alan Rogers, Chris Commons, Paul Evans, Darryl Powell, and Gareth Taylor, with the subs being John Thompson, Marlon King, Barry Roach, Eugene Bopp, and Neil Harris. So yeah,
all the legends.
Dark days, all the legends in there, especially Darryl Powell. Who, my dad took me to Highfield Road that season. I remember him being so kind of unfit. He was like jogging at half time, trying to get fitness up. But yeah, let's not talk about that season. So obviously, once we've played tomorrow night, we'll be looking ahead to Sunday in the Premier League. We'll be quickly round again as we face Tottenham at home. Not Angers Tottenham anymore, because we did the double over Angers Tottenham last season. Obviously, Spurs won last night, beat Slavia Prague in the Champions League 3-0. It was, I believe, so pretty comfortable night for them. They've been very hit and miss in the league. I don't think the fans have kind of took to Thomas Frank, but did it take to any manager, Tottenham fans? I'm not too sure. So what's your thoughts ahead of that game, Christian? I know you've been disparaging towards Spurs and Andrew's manager, but Andrew's gone and had a little stint at our club. So Yeah, what's your take on that one on Sunday afternoon?
If you were a betting man, I think you'd very much look towards a Spurs win, purely because, like, away from home, they are the third best team in the league. They've won 4 of their 7 travels, only lost once. I think that loss was to Arsenal as well. And at home, we are the third worst in the league with only 2 wins at home, 4 defeats and a draw. So if you're going by the form book, it probably looks like Spurs will win. I'm not so sure on the form book, personally. Spurs are weird because they have a lot of like proper bozo moments, like drawing at home to Wolves, for example. I think the draw against Bodo Glimt was another one. Even
if you do want a positive, they've not won away in the last 4 in all comps, but they have played Newcastle twice, PSG and Arsenal in them 4. So, yeah.
But even the PSG game, they scored 3 goals. I mean, more often than not, you score 3 goals away from home, you're going to win. So, they're a bit of an unpredictable team, really. Frank is a very astute manager. I think what Spurs fans don't like is that he's very much... I saw someone say, get Brentford manager, you get Brentford results. And to an extent, that's happened in parts in the league while he's still finding his feet. I still think it's far too early to call from him, really. But he is a very game-by-game manager rather than this is my system, do or die, mate, like the last clown was. But I don't know. I mean, I think it might be a draw, to be honest. I don't know if that does us any favours or not, really. That's where my natural inclination is going at the minute, but I'd absolutely love it if we could find a way to beat Spurs after the way they were in the summer. The arrogance they showed, the way they were, like, even the humbling wasn't enough for them. The way they are, like, jacking every single one of our posts after that,
They still do.
Sweet. Yeah, they still do. Yeah, it would be quite sweet to get one over them, but I don't know. I mean, it depends on what we've got in the tank, to be honest. If we go with the first team and we're like dead on our arse within the first 15 minutes, it's going to be a long afternoon. But if we rotate the squads to its capabilities, as we should be doing, really, tomorrow night, and we've got a fresh Anderson, Gibbs White's a bit more mobile because at the minute the guy can't move because of his back, bless him. Really should have played the 90 at Everton. That was a joke. Igor gets a rest. Get used to running around because obviously he puts a lot into his shift when he goes up front. If you can sort of keep these people to limited sort of appearances or whatever moments, there's no reason why we can't cause them issues. There's no reason why we can't make it awkward for them or whatever else. I hate this phrase because it's so elementary, but the first goal really is crucial at every game. I thought
you were going to say it's who we are, then, mate.
No, at every. I mean, it really annoys me because at any moment in any game, a goal is crucial. It doesn't matter whatever point it is, but it really does feel like I'm going towards a draw, but it could be a 1-goal game. So
give us your prediction for Utrecht and then Spurs tomorrow night, then.
Utrecht.
Spurs on Sunday. Utrecht tomorrow night.
Utrecht. I'll go for a 2-1 Forest win.
Okay.
I think that could be a bit more awkward than we like to think. But I still think we'll get the job done. Spurs. Can't see them not scoring. I'm not predicting us to lose either. Christ. We'll go 1-1.
That wouldn't be a terrible result, would it? Spurs are...
Depends on what happens around us, I think. But, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I guess as well a positive after Spurs on Sunday, then we've got like an 8-day break then, haven't we? Before like a hectic Christmas period. So yeah, Elliott, what's your thoughts, mate, on the game on Sunday?
Right. If I was Mr. Marinakis, I'd want a word with Sean Dyche going, you're going to make me look stupid if we don't win this. Because of that, we always win, Lark. I think Mr. Marinakis will really get the players up for it, and I want him to do that as well. If we play the way we did against Liverpool, which we normally do, because as you know, all the fans usually and players usually turn up for these Sky 6 teams, and it's not like, I mean, we beat them twice last year. It's not as if they have anything over this. So let's get into them. Let's get really up for it. Thursday, I'm predicting a 2-0 win if we play Milenkovic, but 2-1 if we play Bolly, because I've got a feeling it's going to be another one, a set piece disaster. But with this Spurs game, yeah, I think we will nick a 1-0, but I really want them to play very well in this game. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be up for it. I hope you are too.
So you're going for 2 wins then?
Of course, I'm going for 2 wins.
Lovely.
Yeah,
We love that. I think we'll end the chat on that then. 2 wins, that'd be nice. We want it. With obviously Christmas coming up as well, we are going to run a competition on the socials to win a £50 voucher for the club shop. So, I mean, I think we was all hoping the shirts might go down. So I imagine they'll probably go down on Boxing Day once everyone's purchased them. So yeah, we'll get that sorted for someone to win a £50 voucher for Christmas. Yeah, to spend on something of your choice from the club shop. Anything else, guys? Or
Yep.
Elliot, your fact of the day, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be a bit naughty and go for 2, but they're very quite short.
Okay.
One's a Christmas one, and one is a topical news story. So one about Christmas is Mariah Carey, the singer. She puts up 3 Christmas trees in her house. One of them is just decorated with pictures of herself.
Cool.
So that's
I can entirely believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, another one is a bit topical. It's a fact within a fact. First of all, the world's largest carpet museum looks exactly like a giant roll of carpet, if you actually Google it. But regarding carpet museums, the only one in the UK this year is closing down. It's in Kidderminster. They only get 6. They only get 6 people in every day, and obviously, of course, due to financial commitments, they can no longer afford to, unfortunately, go to this museum. So if you're in Kidderminster, just have a long look at this carpet museum before it goes away.
Yeah, having been to Kidderminster work, I don't think there's much else to look at. So yeah, we'll end unless you want to go to Agborough, of course, home of Kidderminster Harriers. Yeah, we'll wrap it up there then, gentlemen. Yeah, fingers crossed for 3 points tomorrow in the Europa League. As we said, we travel to the Netherlands. Nice, easy and small flight for everybody travelling. Safe trip to everybody travelling, and enjoy it, especially for those who are going to Amsterdam. But until next time, come on, you Reds.